Last time we stopped at this point. We were talking about basically implementation method, and still these things we basically discussed. Classroom training. Uh, so just to go this main slide. So this is the outline. We discussed this one, and in the classroom training, these things we discussed. Now, still we are in this segment, audio-visual things. Under the audio-visual things, techniques, static media, dynamic media was discussed, and I think we stopped at this point last time. Today we have to discuss telecommunication, satellite transmissions, and internet, right? So this is telecommunication. As the name implies, telecommunication is the transmission of training program to different locations via telecommunication, right? For example, this video conferencing. It's a kind of telecommunication method, right? So this book don't mention about this Zoom technology, because at that time this book has been was written, that technology was not there. uh, but nowadays you can incorporate the Zoom technology, satellite, microwave, cable TV, fiber optic networks, because as you know, all these comes with these technologies, telecommunication, the Zoom technology, video conferencing, and all these comes from through Wi-Fi and fiber optic networks, right? So we need Wi-Fi to include, because these things are new things. Wi-Fi, then video conferencing, video conferencing, and we have so many things. What do you call this? MOOCs. Uh, what do you call this? Online learning platforms like Moodle, LMS, and so on. Various techniques are there nowadays, right? So cable TV is one. Through cable TV, because these online learning platforms are done basically through these fiber optic networks and Wi-Fi, right? And also video conferencing is again done uh, through Wi-Fi and uh, so Right. So all come under telecommunication technologies, remote locations, right? So all these technologies help us to conduct our training or learning program in uh, remote locations. Teleconferencing and video conferencing, all these are other examples, right? Video conferencing, teleconferencing. Teleconferencing is another technique. Right? Right. So, right. So these things help us to uh, conduct our training learning programs in remote locations. So telecommunication mainly used uh, for that. Right. So then experiential techniques or experiential methods. So basically in experiential methods, the learners are supposed to actively participate uh, in the learning session or the training session. So any method by which the learners or the trainees uh, are supposed to actively engage in the session, that is called an experiential method, right? So experiential methods allows learner to actively participate. So that's what that is the main component to be addressed. If any method facilitate the learners to actively engage in the session, obviously that method is called an experiential method. Experiential. So as the name implies, experiential simply means that you are supposed to actively participate to the session and you need to experience it rather than just listening it. For that, for example, in order to experience it, you need to activate your all the five senses, right? So that's why we say that experiential. And in order to design an experiential method, uh, obviously you need to think about, for example, suppose you are designing a training program, and in that basically you are supposed to uh, develop a training technique, right? So your target, your purpose, your objective is to use an active form of uh, training technique. So in that you use experiential technique. So when you designing an experiential technique, you need to think about uh, all the uh, five senses need to be activated in that method, by that method, uh, when you're using that method. So obviously, when the participants are engaging in that experiential method, you need to think about all the five senses of the participants need to be activated, right? So that method can be designed. So in that case, in order to activate all these five senses by such a kind of a method, obviously you can name it as an experiential method. Any method you can design by your own if that method can activate the at least uh, many of the five senses, right? So then that is experiential method. Experiential methods allows the learner to actively participate when compared to the other methods. So experiential methods commonly include, so these are the experiential methods: case studies, games, role plays, behavior modeling, and outdoor education. Right? So outdoor education is simply known as OBTs, outward bound trainings, OBTs. There are various OBT techniques are there. You can see this kind of an activity in the picture on the right. and various OBT techniques are there, right, relating to any topic. So you can design your own OBT. For example, if you want to design in designing a training and development or HRD program for your staff or for your junior students, for example, you need to think about an experiential method. In designing an experiential method, for example, depending on your topic, you can find various experiential techniques from the internet, from the YouTube, and the way how they are conducted, and what are the materials needed, and what are the learning points that you can target from those exercises. Simply learn from the internet. And basic forms are these: case studies, games, role plays, behavior modeling techniques, and outdoor education, right? So case studies, normally we give case studies to you as well at the examinations. Similar type of thing can be given. Case study, as the name implies, you are supposed to develop a small case or a big case that runs about 50 pages, 100 pages, right? So in that, basically, a particular problem is highlighted in the organization. One problem or many problems relating to the behavior, relating to the training, relating to the anything relating to what we are targeting to train, right? So suppose our target training topic is the motivation. Suppose our target training um, is targeted training topic is teaching. Suppose our targeted training is training topic is like presentation skills, right? So for any topic, we can develop a case study in which simply a problem highlighted, and a problem is given by means of a story, a scenario, or a situation, actual situation, or maybe assumed situation, or hypothetical situation, can be explained in a form of a printed material, or maybe in a form of a video. In that, basically a problem is explained. That problem then is presented to you, whether maybe in a video format, or whether maybe in a printed format, a printed material document is given to you, or maybe a video is shown to you. In that, by watching that or by reading that, simply you need to understand what the problem highlighted here, right? So once you understand the problem, then you are supposed to answer it. In the answer, you need to give a solution for that, right? So then the trainer comes and your solutions are discussed, right? So then what then once your solution is given, if the trainer thinks that the solution is ideal, and different solutions may be given by the participants, then ideal solution is given by the trainer, and compare the ideal solution and your solutions, right? So, and in a similar, then later on, sometimes some people may have been given ideal solution. They may be appreciated, and maybe sometimes some people have not given the ideal solution, which is totally different from the ideal solution given by the trainer. So then obviously trainer trains the participants that this is the ideal solution, that this particular problem can be dealt with, right? So this kind of a problem is dealt with by this way. Suppose, for example, in a bank, the problem is explained by means of a case study relating to a problem of a teller, or problem of a front office in a bank, right? So then a particular, maybe real world problem is explained, right? So then in such type of a problem, how you can deal with, the ideal solution is given. So once that solution is given to you, obviously you learn similar type of situation. We know how we can deal with for those similar type of situations. Then there you have learned and you have been trained. You are trained for that, right? So obviously case studies are given. Basically, case studies highlight that. Say, real world scenario is given in a printed material, in a story, or in a problem. Basically, in a case study, normally, as I told you, a story is highlighted. A story in which a problem is highlighted. And you are supposed to solve the problem by reading the case. Then finally, a trainer comes and trainer teaches you uh, what is the solution for this. An ideal solution you learn, and then you simply have the knowledge. Since you learned it, then you have the knowledge to deal with similar type of problems in the day-to-day life to come in the future. Then that's how you learn this, through case studies. For that, basically you need to actively involve. Initially you need to read the question, and you need to assume the duties in the problem. For example, in the case, suppose you are the HR manager, you are given a responsibility, you are given a job role to act, right? Suppose you are the HRD manager of this organization, and read the case, and you have this problem and how you solve this problem, right? So a problem is given to you, right? So then in that, basically you are accountable for that problem. In that case, you are supposed to solve that problem by assuming a role in that problem. So then in that case, you need to actively participate uh, to the problem, to the training, for example, because the case study is given for a training, and in the sense that in that training you need to actively involve. You need to play a role uh, of the case given, right? So that's how we can say that the case studies are active form of learning techniques, right? So where we can find cases, case studies are typically included in college textbooks and courses in management, public administration, law, sociology, and similar subjects, right? So cases are available in video and other media. So that was told. And business games and simulations. So many business games are there. You can find very interesting, very funny, enjoyable, and 50% fun and 50% learning is there, because the participants are highly interested with these techniques nowadays. That's why in every training session or a learning session, the trainers make sure to include these type of techniques, business games and simulations, because from one hand, we can get the active participation, and at the same time, on the other hand, the employees can be satisfied, and the trainers can make the entire training program happy to the happy and enjoyable fun to the participants. So then the more live kind of training sessions can be maintained throughout the session when you incorporate these type of things throughout the session, throughout the training. So therefore, the trainers try to uh, make sure that they include uh, these type of techniques in their programs. So therefore, in your program as well, try to, because there are, so you can find various relating to the topic that you are targeting to give to the audience. You can find various techniques, right? For example, even this, for this as well, for this lesson, for this slide, I can use various games, small games. But as I told you, always the time is the factor. uh, Business games and simulations intended to develop problem solving and decision making skills. Basically, when you are targeting to train problem solving skills and decision making skills, obviously you can use business games and simulations. Focuses primarily on business management decisions such as maximizing profits. An organization can use either non-computer based game simulations or models, or computer based games or simulations. We have non-computer based games, like, manually you can do a game. You can introduce paper and pencil games, or maybe games by using different materials, right? So we have so many things. And apart from that, you can use some computer design programs and simulations. You can use them. Then we have another type in basket exercise. As this picture elaborates, you have to uh, uh, assign what is in basket. In basket means in a basket, uh, as the name implies, you need to assign. Suppose you have a basket. In that basket, you have different chits, right? So chits, in those chits, you different roles explain, like this. This is one role, this is another role, this is another role, this is another role, this is another role, and different roles explain, right? So, and that those roles given in a basket, right? For example, and those basket, the roles explained in this basket need to be played by you, right? So in basket exercise is another, is purely a simulation, uh, not like basket is given to you, right? So I just explain this by an example. In basket is something like, there is a basket, some basket in the sense that there is a bunch of rolls, right? Basket denotes a bunch of, or a set of roles given, right? That set of roles given to you. Suppose, for example, you are coming to the vacancy. You have already applied to the vacancy of HR manager. Now you pass the first selection test, second selection test, and third selection test. Now you are in the fourth selection test. In the fourth selection test, you are supposed to do a in basket exercise, right? So at a selection test, this is basically used as a selection technique. At the same time, you are uh, supposed to take it as a training method, right? So this is again an active form of training method in basket exercise, right? So I'm taking this as a selection test now. Then after that, I will explain how we can use the same exercise as a training tool, right? So now you are in the fourth stage of selection. You've already passed the three stages of the selection. Now you are facing, you have already applied to HR manager job, right? So now you are taking the in-basket exercise as the fourth selection technique. In that, basically, you are given a set of roles, right? You are given a set of roles because you are asked to assume the duty of a HR manager, and you need to demonstrate. Then you are given set of duties, responsibilities to be played by, to be fulfilled by the HR manager's position. And suppose these are the roles given, this one, you need to write a memo, you need to write a letter to the labor minister, and you need to post some important, let's say, vacancy advertisement to the newspaper, and you need to do some, punishments, introduce some punishments to the, or maybe disciplinary inquiries need to be handled. Two disciplinary inquiries need to be handled in a day. Today you have to handle a disciplinary interview, two disciplinary interview, and you need to have send few emails to the important top management positions, and you need to have a rest, and maybe you need to have meals during the day, and you need to take the break as well, and you need to give some rewards to somebody else, and you need to you are receiving many phone calls while having the position duties in the day, and at the same time you need to record some minutes, or maybe some documenting things, right? And so many things in a day. And maybe you need to go to the court for a previously filed case by an employee. You need to appear in the court, uh, for a case filed by an employee against the HR department, and you have some other meetings with the top management, right? In a day, you have various job roles to be performed. And those job roles are explained in a list, given in a list, right? A list of roles are given to you. That is the in basket, right? Now, the management or the interview panel the panel of selection ask you to play these different roles and demonstrate how you, initially you are asked, these are the list of roles to be played in a day. Then that is printed on a paper and given to you. And 10 minutes are given to you to understand the roles to be played. And then after that, the panel of selection panel ask you to demonstrate how you perform these, explain how you explain in performing these duties within this day. Right? That is the task. Then candidate need to explain that how he or she explains those duties. So perform these duties need to be explained, right? So the way how you perform, the way how you explain that you are performing, it is evaluated. The ideal performance will be selected. Right? So in that, basically, you need to assume the duties of the HR manager. Really, you need to assume the duties of HR manager, and you need to play the duties of duties and roles of the HR manager for a short time period, right? So simply, that is a kind of a playing roles uh, in actual real world situation. That is known as in basket exercise. That is basically used for one hand for the selection, right? But on the other hand, that can be used to train people. For example, you need to train, that can be used as a development technique in basket exercise. Because suppose your next promotion is uh, the HR manager. Now you are in the senior manager. Now you are in the senior executive HR, right? Senior executive HR. Your next immediate promotion is junior HR manager. Now, junior HR manager, you are sent to a development program, right? And your active participation is needed. And the trainers, the HRD department, have designed in basket exercise for you, right? In that, basically, the junior HR manager's role, list of roles is explained, and that is given to you. And you are asked to demonstrate how these rules are performed within one day. And you need to explain, right? And the way you explain is evaluated by the trainers. And later on, finally, sometimes you may be performed in a good way, or maybe sometimes your performance, your explanation may need some, training on that, right? So therefore, once your explanation is done, the ideal performance is explained by the trainers, and uh, that is compared, ideal performance and your performance is compared. If there is any gap, how the gap is filled is trained by the trainers. Understood, right? So you need to initially demonstrate the way how you perform the given roles, and maybe sometimes that is tape video recorded. Then finally, ideal behavior, ideal role playing is uh, explained by the trainers. Then finally understand the gap, whether there is any gap between your performance and the ideal performance. Then if there is a gap, the gap is trained by the uh, trainers. Right. So then from that you learn something. That is the in-basket exercise. The main goal of in-basket exercise is to assess the trainee's ability to establish priorities, plan, gather relevant information, and make decisions in a given time period. So that's what I explain in detail now. Right. So these are the steps are there. These are the steps to be followed. Everything I explained in the previous, relating to the previous slide, explained here in writing. Right. So the sequence of events involved, sequence of events. Events are roles. Events to be performed by a particular job role, job duty or job position. HR manager, in a HR manager's position, several events are there, several roles are there for a day to be played, right? In basket exercise typically include the following. The trainees are told that they have been promoted to a management position that was suddenly vacated. They are given background information about the organization, including personnel relationship policies and union contracts. The job is clearly explained to you, right? Because at the end, ultimately, you need to play the job, play the roles of that job. Obviously, you need to perform the duties of that job. So initially, job is explained to you. The trainees then receive the contents of the managers in basket. In basket, in the sense that not a basket is given. Normally in basket referred to as the number of duties, tasks, responsibilities to be performed by that particular job. That is the in basket. List of duties, list of tasks, list of authorities, list of duties, responsibilities, authorities given to that job. Obviously, job description is given, right? In basket is the job description, but not the entire job description, but not the entire job description. Job part of a job description is given, that is sometimes to be played, to be performed in a day. For example, a day's description is given, right? Days, or maybe a week's description. Normally a days, or maybe first half of the day, or the second half of the day duty list is given, right? So then that is the in basket. This material includes documents such as telephone messages, notes, memos, letters, and reports, for example. As I did show you, these are the in basket, right? You need to have telephone calls, you need to have emails to be sent, and you need to, let's say, terminate employees. You need to send some mails, post mails. Then you need to write some reports. You need to answer some phone calls, and you need to give some phone calls, right? You need to, record something, various job. You need to handle some interviews. You need to design recruitment vacancy advertisement, right? You need to go to the court, right? You need to handle some inquiries, various HR related, management related. Suppose the job is the manager's job that we are targeting, right? Suppose HRD manager's job is targeting. Then you need to do a need assessment. You need to design a training program, and you need to interview trainees to be selected for a particular training. And you need to schedule a training program. You need to have a site visit to select a particular site, right? You need to participate the training annual budget preparation with the top management. Various job duties are there, right? So that is the in basket. So this material, these are the in basket examples. The trainees are then asked to read, organize, prioritize, and make decisions regarding the issues presented by the in-basket material. So obviously, you need to demonstrate how these uh, list of jobs or list of task duties are performed. Right? At the end of the decision period, the trainees' decisions are then evaluated by the trained scorers. Scorers are the trainers, right? So trainers normally evaluate your performance, how you perform, how you, because performance is demonstrated by explaining simply or writing on a particular report, the way simply in basket, how you perform the in basket is dependent on maybe to the circumstances. Obviously, you are supposed to explain maybe verbally, or maybe you are supposed to write the way how you perform this in basket, right? Simply you need to write or maybe verbally explain, right? uh, so those are the two basic things can be used at a training especially. So then your explanation or the write up is evaluated by the panel of trainers or maybe a single trainer. Then your performance and ideal performance is compared. If there is a gap, then gap is trained to you. That is in basket exercise. Rights. Here, in other words, we call it as in-tray exercise. In basket or in-tray exercise. In that, basically, these are the way how you can these are the areas that we can target for training, how you can work efficiently. So these are the objectives that we are targeting to give to the trainees through the in basket. For example, we can say from this is the list given. We can simply, if the list is given, so we can simply assess which one a particular trainee takes first, prioritize. What are the things, job the duties they prioritize according to their knowledge? What are the things they what are the job roles they delegate to their subordinates or junior, because not the HR manager do all the things, because as the HR manager he is given a staff, right? So some people, something, some work can be get done through other people, not him, not only, not the only person who is supposed to do it, right? So then obviously we can delegate some tasks to a junior staff. Something, some tasks need to be done by himself or herself, or maybe some tasks may be coordinated with somebody else, or some tasks may be coordinated with some other department, right? So that knowledge must be there to the manager, and so depending on the answer, we can simply assess the way how he handled those all these activities, and simply we can identify which task he is prioritizing, which task he is delegating to somebody else, which task he is coordinating with somebody else, right? So the way how the particular task is managed and performed can be simply learned by the trainers, and that learning simply ultimately uh, can identify whether there is a gap with the ideal behavior. So if there is a gap with the ideal behavior, obviously trainers give the feedback, and these are the areas you had to prioritize. These are the areas you had to delegate with others in order to make your job role efficient, in order to make your job uh, productive, right? So simply how you can set priorities, what are the key issues in identified when you are performing your duties, what are the anticipate problems rising when you are performing the duties, how you can explore the issues, and how you can suggest different options through your colleagues, and you can simply make recommendations on how to do it. For example, you simply denotes the trainer, and what are the reasons. Simply those things can be practiced through through the in basket, and these are the areas we can target. We simply denote the trainers can target for giving the training through in basket, obviously to a particular job position, right? So what are the anticipated problems in a particular job arising? How you can set the priorities in performing your duties? What are the key issues you can identify while performing your job? And how you can perform if efficiently in your job roles? And how you can explore the issues to come while you are performing the jobs? And you can suggest some options or alternative ways to perform the job, right? And you can make some recommendations. This must be done in this way. That role must be done in that way, right? So ideal performances are trained to the trainee or the one who come for the development program, right? So, and you can simply give reasons for that, what you are for what you are suggesting, right? Then role plays. Role plays, as I think role plays, you simply know what it is. Uh, the mechanism, role play simply is meaning that you need to play a role, given role. In that, in basket is kind of a role play, right? So mechanism is trainees are presented with an organization situation. Suppose, for example, suppose you are the HR manager of this organization. Suppose you are the HR executive of this organization. Assume now you are playing, you have to play the counselor's role today, right? So likewise, you need to assume a duty of a certain position, right? Or maybe you need to assume the duties of a certain position, job, in other words. Assigned a role or character in the situation. Asked to act out the role with one or more other trainees. Conducting a feedback session following the role play, right? So there are not all the jobs we can apply the role plays. There are some jobs only for which the uh, role plays can be applied, right? So please remember that. Then what are the jobs that role plays can only be applied? And with this knowledge will be really helpful for your facing the questions at the final examination, right? For example, counselor's job. In order to train the counselors, in order to train the models, in order to train the teachers, in order to train the insurance agents, in order to train the think about what are the jobs that role plays can be applied clearly, right? Uh, so especially mostly the role plays are applied for the counselors jobs, because how you can demonstrate, how you can deal with a patient, a client who's seeking counseling, right? Suppose you are applying, you have already applied for a counselor's job. Now you are in the process of selection of counselor. counselor job position. Now you have been called to an interview. At the interview, you are asked to uh, do a role play. Interview panel is the client and you are the counselor, right? So you assume the duty of the counselor. Now, really, you are facing an interview. The interview panel asks to treat them as the client or the patients suffering from a particular disease, so counseling disorder, uh, particular psychological disorders which seeks counseling. Then maybe interview panel is now in a real depression or burnout situation, right? Then you are supposed to play the counselor's role. Then how you overcome, how you counsel those people who are now really depressed. Now you need to demonstrate really what you know in counseling, right? What you have learned, what you know about counseling, because you have applied the counselor's job position because of you are having the qualifications. You have followed a counseling degree and you have done an internship in counseling, and maybe you have experience with you have the experience in let's say 6 months tenure with counseling. Now you must be able to demonstrate the counselor's job role, right? So that is the role play. You need to play the role given, as the name implies, right? Role plays offer trainees an opportunity for self-discovery and learning. And not these role plays can be applied only for the selection, but also the role plays can be used as a tool for training. So now we are using in this context, training context and development context. Obviously, you need to, suppose I want to teach you as teachers, right? So now I ask you to do a presentation, uh, or lecturers, for example, right? So now in the classroom, I select few of you, 2 or 3 of you, and ask you to play the teacher's role now. Simply, I ask you to play my role. I'm the lecturer to you now, right? So like me, you need to play my role within the coming 2 hours. So simply, you need to play originally my role originally, not like me, not like exactly me, right? Simply, lecturer's role need to be played, right? So that's, then in that one, while you are playing, once your play is done, simply your role play is tape recorded or maybe video recorded. And then finally, video recording is shown to you later on. And simply by pausing the video in relevant points, the ideal behavior is explained. This must be like this, and you have demonstrated like that, and this should have been done like this, right? So likewise, that training is given. That is basically done for the model training, fashion models, insurance agents, receptionists, right? So role plays are done. Teachers training, counselors training, right? So role plays are applied. So ideal role is explained, and then finally, or maybe sometimes our ideal role is demonstrated initially by means of video recordings or maybe manually. For example, fashion training, fashion designers or fashion models training, a model comes, ideal training model come and or demonstrate the original behavior, ideal behavior. Then participants are asked to behave, uh, asked to demonstrate the same behavior and practice it, right? So like job instruction training, role plays can be trained. Right. Example, a management development program could include a role play situation emphasizing interpersonal conflict between manager and the subordinate, right? So this is another example. In a management training program, management development program, suppose you uh, uh, were recruited, you were joined as the management trainees for a bank. Now you are in the management training development program, management development program. Now you have been recruited as the management trainees and you are given this situation. Then you need to demonstrate how you tackle this situation, right? So you have an interpersonal conflict between your manager, you are the manager, and you have a subordinate, and you have a conflict with you and a subordinate. Then how you can resolve this? How you can deal with this situation, right? So that need to be played. And the way how you play the situation is tape recorded or video recorded. And finally, ideal behavior is trained to you. Sometimes you may be played the ideal behavior. In that case, you are appreciated by the review panel or the training panel. The things that you need to improve is explained in after that, once your behavior is finished. Then behavior modeling, another one. All these forms are active form of uh, training techniques or development techniques, which are called experiential methods. Now, the behavior modeling is supported by social learning theory, which suggests that many of our behavioral patterns are learned from observing others. Think about you. How many of your behaviors affected by others' behaviors? Because as you know, social learning theory highlights that we learn from the society. Our behaviors are shaped by the others' behaviors, right? So good or bad, both, right? So goodness or badness is dependent on your morality, moral judgments. But whatever the morality that you have, the behaviors you learn, you whether maybe good behavior or a bad behavior, right? So that is the good behavior again, like role play, like air stewardess, air hostess, insurance agents, receptionists, teachers, counselors, fashion models, right? So for all these type of jobs, we can apply behavior modeling technique, right? Behavior modeling. For example, for HR manager as well, we can apply behavior modeling, right? So mostly behavior service oriented jobs, behavior service oriented job, especially customer care related jobs, relationship oriented jobs, we can apply this behavior modeling technique, because ideal behaviors have been developed and those ideal behaviors are trained to the trainees, right? And they are trained and further trained until they become to the ideal behavior to demonstrate, right? So that is the behavior modeling. Especially supervisors, managers, union leaders, and co-workers uh, who serve as role models, right? So role models, for example, I'm a role model, and you sometimes maybe uh, target me as a role model. If you are targeting to be the lecturers, මට නම් ප්‍රේශාන්ත සර් වගේ වෙන්න ඕනේ. මට නම් අහවලා වගේ වෙන්න ඕනේ. මට වෙන්න ඕනේ අබ්දුල් කලාම් වගේ. But if you are targeting to be if you are planning to be a president of Sri Lanka, who you want to be like, right? මට වෙන්න ඕනේ මහතිර් මොහොමඩ් වගේ කෙනෙක්. So Mahathir Mohamad is a role model, right? So then for any job, we can use this and we can simply train this behavior, train the behavior uh, prescribed by a particular job to a certain job incumbent, right? Particular role required by or prescribed by uh, that job uh, need to be trained to the job incumbent. Ideal behavior required by a certain job need to be trained by a trainer to the job incumbent trainee. Then they try to demonstrate the ideal behavior. So the classic example is uh, there are so many examples. One of which is air hostess, right? Air hostess. There are so many behavior modeling training is there.
Have chosen to go beyond their.
Hi, a lot of people, including us, are looking for a talent management model, but so far no one has developed such a model yet. In this bite, I will introduce the HR talent management model you can use in order to get the most out of your employees. Stay tuned. Initially developed for marketing purposes, this model shows how customers first get in touch with an organization and eventually end up buying something from that organization. This happens in 5 phases. Let's go through all of them individually and then I'll explain how the model can be applied to HR. 1. Acquisition. This is all about driving visitors to the organization. 2. Activation. This is the first value experience that is exchanged between the organization and the customer. This can be a customer that leaves their email address in exchange for a monthly newsletter, for example, or customer walking into a brick and mortar shop. 3. Revenue. The first and most important of the R's. Revenue is about getting customers to make a purchasing decision. Needless to say, this is the lifeblood of any business. 4. Referral. Referral is about how to get customers to share others about your organization and your product or service. It is about customers generating more customers. Finally, 5. Retention. How do you retain those buying customers so they come back and buy again? This is about increasing the lifetime value of the customer.
So I am a manager at Starbucks, so I would be doing, so my general duties with that job are going to be normal barista jobs like reviewing register, making drinks, cleaning, all that stuff. But also as a manager, I also have to work with orders when they come in. I have to fill out like do inventory, like how much do we have in the store and what else do we need, how much do I have to order, and take that into account. And I do that with merchandise, pastries, all of that stuff that we get in. I also like just do, I have daily paperwork that I complete all the time, like every day that I'm in at work. Just different things like different temperatures of the different fridges, all that stuff that's done on a daily basis instead of a weekly basis. I also have to know how to run a team, so a leadership quality is involved there. So like, and at a time, like I'll have 6 people on the floor and I'm gonna be the one in charge. I have to figure out who's gonna be going where, who fits each position better, and I also have to train people, so I have to put that into the scheduling as well. And so I have to know how to do all of that and all at once.
I am a shift supervisor at Starbucks.
I'm a barista at Starbucks.
I'm a shift supervisor.
I'm a store manager.
My connection to my customers, being able to set the tone for somebody's day, that's really what brings me to work every day.
You can pretty much get a cup of coffee anywhere, but we are there to create inspired moments for our customers each and every day.
Being a partner, that's not just a word. It's a real sense of ownership.
If you have your eye on a certain goal or a certain career that you want to get to, you have that opportunity to get there.
I'm currently trying to move up to supervisor. Next step, ASM, hopefully manager.
Your hard work does not go unnoticed.
It's showing that care and compassion of celebrating the things that they do really well.
It's an amazing company to work for. The connection with the partners, with the customers, the benefits.
The tuition reimbursement, the mark out,
The 401k.
Oh, Beanstalk, excellent.
Healthcare.
the insurance is an amazing benefit.
There's not many companies out there that give that to part-time workers.
It's because we're a company of people who care about people. It comes naturally to us to take care of our partners.
It's not just about selling coffee, it's about being involved in the community.
Every time there is a community event going on, I am the first one to sign up.
You know, Starbucks has really lived up to that community coffee shop feel.
It makes me feel proud to work for a company that stands behind what they say. I feel proud putting my green apron on.
If you want to be part of something really big, this is the place to do it.
I can definitely see myself building a career at Starbucks.
We make up this company, and the company values us.
Behavior modeling in educational psychology refers to the process by which learners acquire new behaviors through observation and imitation of others. This approach is grounded in the belief that much of human learning occurs socially, through the observation of others within a context, a concept stemming from Albert Bandura's social learning theory. Bandura, a key figure in educational psychology, posited that people learn from one another via observation, imitation, and modeling, making this concept particularly relevant in educational settings. The concept of behavior modeling has been integrated into educational practices since the mid-20th century, largely influenced by the broader acceptance of social learning theory. Originally observed in therapeutic contexts, the technique was quickly adopted in classrooms as educators realized the potential of role models in shaping student behavior and learning techniques. Behavior modeling has since evolved to encompass a wide range of educational strategies that use example and imitation as their core tools for teaching. An illustrative example of behavior modeling in educational settings is seen in the way teachers demonstrate problem solving in mathematics. A teacher may solve a problem on the board, employing specific strategies while articulating their thought process. Students watch and then attempt to solve similar problems using the modeled strategies. This method is also prevalent in teaching literacy, where teachers model reading strategies like predicting text content or summarizing a passage, which students then practice in guided sessions. There are significant strengths to employing behavior modeling in educational contexts. First, it provides a clear, observable example for learners to follow, simplifying complex behaviors into manageable, observable actions. This can be particularly effective for learners.
Right, so the second video is the behavior modeling applied to the children's education. And the first video is relating to the employees behavior modeling, how each as the first video demonstrated that in the Starbucks employees, how each job is responsible for better customer care, and Starbucks used the talent management framework So likewise, in that framework, what they basically supposed to do, basically what are the roles they are supposed to perform and the way how they need to do it. So obviously that is behavior modeling. So how to treat customers, all explained by the employees' own explanations. So that is behavior modeling. There are, you can sometimes you can find various other
Hi,
examples.
a lot of people.
Behavior modeling, and some, we have various videos relating to this. There are some theories, behavior modeling training, workplace behavior training, various. Let's see this one.
Today, I got to tell you about how QuickBooks helps me hustle. QuickBooks gives me easy to understand reporting and dashboard tools.
Hello, I'm Ankush Arora. Today I'm going to discuss the topic behavior.
Right. So I think right. So you can find various techniques, various videos.
Hi, I'm Chris Klinger, and this is Minutespirations. Today's topic, modeling the behavior. So a long time ago, there was a mom and a son, and the mom said, boy, my son eats so much sugar. The only way I can solve this is to ask Gandhi for help. So she settled or asked for an audience with Mahatma Gandhi in India. And she went before Gandhi and she said, Gandhi, she says, I wish you would tell my son to stop eating sugar. Again, probably the wording was a little bit different. And Gandhi said, come back in a week. So they went away, they came back in a week, they sat down with an audience with Gandhi again, and Gandhi said to the boy, son, now you must stop eating sugar. And the boy said, okay, and they got up, and as they were walking out, the mom caught Gandhi and he said, why did we have to go away for a week? And Gandhi said, because before I could tell him to stop eating sugar, I had to do it as well. Folks, when we want to look at changing behavior, let us model the behavior first. Thanks for tuning in. Make today great, and be sure to subscribe.
So likewise, we can find various aspects of this technique from different viewpoints. Behavior modeling for robotic theory of mind, behavior modeling for robotics. Again, we can do it. And this is
effective for learners who
this is watched. Right. So this is a practical example. And in the classrooms,
and then you can sit here and you can move, and when it's pushed all the way out, hey Bob, does that desk have to make that noise?
I don't know, it just does.
Well, stand here, I want to show you something. Watch this. If you sit in this desk like this, push this all the way out, and then you can sit here and you can move, and when it's pushed all the way out, then your feet can be on the floor and it doesn't make that noise. See, even when I write. Try it. So it's pushed in. What if it's pushed in? Now push it out all the way. Okay, now write and show me it doesn't tweak, does it? Okay, that's exactly the way to do it. Good job.
right? So this is an example of behavior
this company
modeling.
recently announced that anyone can make a game without writing a line of code.
Okay, guys, we're getting ready.
Right. That's all about behavior modeling. And behavior modeling is explained by the social learning theory by Albert Bandura. So you can learn about this theory, and that theory was explained by the second video I did show you. Most human behavior is learned by observing observationally through modeling. From observing others, one forms an idea of how new behaviors are performed. And on later occasions, this coded information serves as a guide for action. So obviously, by looking at the others' behaviors, we learn something, and that is memorized in our mind, and we try to demonstrate the same behavior. We try to duplicate it, right? So that's naturally happening. That's how we learn. So that is reflected by social learning theory. Mechanism in behavior modeling. Trainees observe a model performing a target behavior correctly, usually on film or video, right? So I just wanted to show you this video, but I couldn't find it. Let's try it again.
Hey guys, I'm Ali with NGM Modeling, and I'm here with our model, Laura Isela. And what are we learning today?
We're learning a lot today. So today we're gonna show you how to model. We're gonna show you so many tips. It's super easy. People think it's super hard, but it's actually only some techniques. So if you guys wanna learn, just keep on watching.
So we're going to go over the 3 types of runway walks. The first one is the basic fashion show walk. And this one, you want to stop at the end of the runway here and pose for the cameras. So our next walk is going to be the high fashion walk. On this one, it's continual movement here. There's no stopping at the end of the runway on this one. Our final walk is the pageant walk. And on this one, you're going to do much longer poses at the end of the runway, not just for the cameras, but also for the judges so that they can get a good look at you. We're going to also go over the technique on this. It is very similar on all 3 of them. It starts by walking with one foot in front of the other. You can see the huge difference here as you're walking with one foot in front of the other versus not doing that. Looked much sleeker, much more elegant when you're doing that. You want to make sure that your shoulders are back and down while you're walking. You can see here what a difference that makes as well for our model, walking with those shoulders nice and tall. Next, make sure that head is upright and you're walking with your head up. You're not looking down at your feet. This is also going to help you keep your balance when you're walking. So let's put all 3 of those techniques together. Again, walking one foot in front of the other, kind of like you're walking on a tightrope. You want to keep your shoulders back and down when you're walking, and also make sure that you're keeping your head up. So your chin up, your chin is not tucked into your chest, and you're not looking down at your feet. So let's put these together and let's practice. First thing you're gonna need is a wooden dowel. You can use a broomstick. You can get these, you can have something from around the house, or you can just pick up a wooden dowel at a craft store near you. So let's put that around your back and wrap your arms around. This is going to help you practice keeping your shoulders back and down. You can see how nice and straight they look here on our model as she's walking back and forth. So make sure you take the time to practice as much as you can with that dowel or stick behind your back and wrapping those arms around. Next, let's practice keeping that head upright. So an easy way to do that, you can use a piece of wood like our model is using here, or you can grab a book, place it on the top of your head, and this is going to be a great assistant to help you to keep your chin up. Practice with this as much as possible, guys. It's really going to help you to get better at your walk and also get better at your turns. So let's put those all together once you've practiced with the wooden dowel and with a book on your head. Then you want to practice doing it with nothing. Something else that's really important on the runway is feet placement when you're standing and also when you're posing. Make sure they are in the T.
Right? So that's not a model training. This is not a model training, just to show how behavior modeling can be applied to the fashion models. Right? So that's one example. And for various other catwalk, speech therapy, So this lady has been trained for flight safety, because as you know, before takeoff any flight, this demonstration is given by their stewardess and their crew, cabin crew, to aware about the safety of the passengers. Obviously, the safety instructions given, and all the cabin crew staff provide this demonstration. This is one of the cabin crew member demonstration. I want to show you a line of cabin crew staff demonstrating this. Let me check the same demonstration. See.
May we have your complete attention as we demonstrate the safety features of this aircraft. These features may differ from aircraft that you have flown on before. Please remove headphones for this demonstration. All emergency exits are indicated by a red exit sign, and the floor path markings will guide you to the nearest exit in an emergency. The exits are located.
Searching.
Ask you for your attention as we take you through the safety features of this.
Paglipad ang lipad nito pinaunahan ni Kapitan Rodolfo Bo Jr. sa tulong ni Unang Opisyal Michael Catalino. At tayo po ay lipad mahigit kumulang 1 oras at 25 minuto.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to your cabin crew who will demonstrate the safety features of this aircraft. Each seat is provided with a seat belt. To fasten, push ends together. Tighten seatbelt by pulling loose end. To unfasten, lift top of buckle and pull free end to release. In case of water landing, your life vest is found under your seat. Remove sharp objects from your body. To don, slip vest over the head. Take tape around the waist and push end to buckle. Pull tape to tighten. When outside the aircraft, pull inflation tags to inflate vest. Manual inflation is done by means of the red tubes. Blow to increase air, and push pins inward to release air. Light automatically illuminates once the battery is immersed in water. Do not inflate the life vest inside the aircraft. Please be reminded that unauthorized removal of life vest from the aircraft constitutes theft and is punishable by law. In case of rapid change in cabin pressure, oxygen masks will automatically drop from the compartments above you. Immediately grab the mask and pull it towards you. Put it over your nose and mouth. Pull elastic band sideways for snug fit and breathe normally. Put your own mask first before assisting others. Keep it on until you are advised to remove it. In case of emergency evacuation, follow the lights that will lead you to the exits. For further information, please refer to the passenger briefing card found in your seat pocket. This aircraft is equipped with emergency exit signs found in the cabin. The location of the nearest exit may be behind you. Each cabin door is equipped with a slide raft. In any eventuality, guests must leave their bags and immediately proceed to the usable exits. There are also fire extinguishers in the cabin. Operation of the device is indicated on the equipment itself. We are about to
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board this Turkish Airlines flight. We would like to draw your attention to the safety information you need to follow during this flight. Please stow your hand luggage carefully in the overhead compartments. You can place smaller items under the seat in front of you. When the seatbelt sign is on, please fasten and adjust your seatbelt as shown. Keep your seatbelt fastened and visible until the seatbelt sign is off. When needed, you can release it as shown. Before the flight, extension and loop belts are given out by the cabin crew. Please switch your mobile phones and all other electronic devices to flight mode. Mobile phones and other electronic devices without a flight mode must be switched off. Before takeoff and landing, please unplug all your electronic devices. Smartphones, tablets, and other small devices may be held, but laptops and larger devices must be stowed in their cases in the overhead compartments or under the seat in front of you. If your device is lost or falls into the seat structure, do not move your seat. Just call a member of our cabin crew. It is illegal to smoke on this flight, including electronic cigarettes.
Right, so this is 3D models, avatars. So 3D pictures may be developed in with the help of latest technologies nowadays. But when I did show you the previous video, that's a physical demonstration. All the members' behavior are the same, right? In different places, because the flight is very long. We have different classes, economy, business class, and so on, and different places the cabin crew members located. And in order to clearly visible their demonstration, they are locating at different places in the flight, and this demonstration is given. So that has been this here. You can see. So you can see the two members here in front, and we have several other members locating in the middle and in the different parts in the different places in the flight. So demonstrating the same. So they have been trained to do it. So that's a kind of a behavior modeling, right? So likewise, we have various applications of behavior modeling. Ultimate objective of this technique is to model the ideal behavior, right? So mechanism, video, this type of video or film is first shown to the candidates or the trainees. Then ideal behavior. Can you remember the first video I did show you relating to the fashion model. So ideal behavior is demonstrated first. Then you need to train it. And your behavior is again video recorded. And then your behavior and the ideal behavior is compared, then gaps identified. Until you demonstrate the ideal behavior, you need to follow the ideal behavior video and train. So this is followed by a discussion of the key components of the behavior. As you noted in the first video, models training behavior. A trainer is there, and trainer and you can have a discussion between you and your trainer. So trainer guides you simply until you become you demonstrate the ideal behavior. Trainer guides you, participating the target behavior through role playing and receiving the feedback and reinforcement for the behavior you demonstrate. Then outdoor education, simply as you can see, OBT, in other words, outward bound training. This include work teams being involved with outdoor games, orienting, or rafting, pushing, water rafting. So earlier we carry our students for the water rafting at Kitulgala. I think we have nice photos already. I think we have in the website as well. In our faculty website, we have published few photographs that were taken at our student field visit, which is a totally outdoor factory visit and outdoor training organized by Kitulgala, one of the OBT training centers earlier around 2000. From this I think this has been practiced since 2012, 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we were going there and students were really enjoying with this training. We had the water rafting games and many outdoor related training, OBT games student had. This time also, if the faculty permits, you can arrange this. I think all the staff members are aware about it. Initially, I was the person who found this and initiated this program to the faculty when I was at the temporary lecturer position. So I and with our staff members carry the first batch of students to there, and I found the Kitulgala training center, and we had a long relationship with them since we have been going there since 2000, around 2007, 2006 until now. But last few years, I think we didn't go there due to the current problems. Right. Anyway, outdoor education, we can focus with it for giving practical experiential learning to the trainees.
Jump out! Jump! Jump right! Jump out! Fantastic! And 3. Start!
These are teamwork, specially teamwork exercises, teamwork training. All these are teamwork based training. And we have communication, teamwork, trust building, collaboration, team cohesion, participation, involvement, trust building. All these soft skills can be trained through resource handling. All these games are soft skill development, leadership, planning, organizing, communication, motivation. All these are the topics. which can be targeted through these games. So you can simply find different games, OBT games for communication. OBT games for communication. Skill. Right. Right, so this type of original behavior is this, but at the end totally opposite behavior comes, so totally opposite message comes when you pass the same message to the people. So that's what we need to learn. There are various other things when it comes to the communication. You can see there is a very good video, funny video. At the same time, you can learn this one.
Okay. All right, so let's have Matthew then start.
That's on video.
Okay. All right, so let's have Matthew then start.
Go back.
I can do this. What? Okay. I don't know, so you have to go.
What?
Oh, my head hurts.
Oh my god. Oh no, it's not. Wait, what was the second? Ah, crap, I forgot it.
No talking.
Really?
Okay, so what do you think it is? Okay. And let me get a picture of what the word was, or the sentence was. Okay.
Right?
Not funny.
So there are various techniques.
Practice. Look, coming to and getting lost. Pero muy చూస్తున్నా అర్థం ఇవ్వదు నాకు ఇంట్లోకి వస్తుంది ఏదో జరుగుతుంది ఇద్దాం
Sí, no.
Sunlight Royal Lavender.
Hey, what did you do at the weekend?
Yeah,
Shopping? Okay, where did you shopping?
Of course, British.
Yes. I went to Newcastle.
Oh.
Yeah, buy some many things.
Everybody's there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's alright. Happy weekend.
Not really.
Not really?
Yeah.
So, guys, here are some work for the Monday work. Let's see your part.
Right? So likewise, various games can be found for different topics. Again, this one is for leadership.
I want the video to say so. I'm gonna videotape a little bit.
This is for trust and team building activity, team building game.
This is called Tank. The objective is the sighted person in the back
If you
is
want to
supposed to
split
guide
your
the
members into
unsighted
groups
people in
or
the front
teams,
to pick up
you can,
throwables off of the ground
and
follow
place
this
them
game.
in the bucket using nonverbal communication. Hopefully they don't rip each other's heads off. Once they get the throwable, tossable, they drop it in the bucket. As you can see, we have 2 teams going currently. And once you drop it in the bucket, you take off your blindfold, you rotate to the back of the group, and you come to the side of the group. The activity is over whenever the person who was first in the back goes all the way to the front. Where are you going, Barbara?
And you can find trust building, team building, creativity, decision making, fun, icebreaker games and activities. Rover crossing, great team building game. So right, you can find various games that I think right. So games is over. Then now self-paced or computer-based training. Right. So we can simply design our training delivery through the computer. For example, as you know, for example, suppose you bought, you have bought, let's say, machinery. Then how to install that machine and how to, let's say, a computer. You need to format the computer, or maybe you have bought a printer. And so that need to be installed into your computer, and along with the computer you have a CD, or along with the printer you have a CD, and in that CD all the installation guidelines and instructions are given. And so once that instructions is given, then you have to follow those instructions, and that is a kind of a training, computer self-paced training. A computer program give all the instructions, and we need to follow those instructions. Sampath Bank now using these type of techniques for the teller training, banking teller training. They have a separate computer program. That program instructed how to write a check, how to give a loan, for example, uh, 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 basic banking training is given through instructions, computer program instructions. Then obviously the trainees need to follow those instructions, and at the end of the training they uh, give multiple choice questions to answer. Then once they follow the instructions, obviously they can memorize the instructions. Then they are at the end of the session, evaluation, examination, or kind of a MCQ type questions are there. Then you have to answer. Then your training performance is evaluated at that time. So that is computer-based training. A computer program is there. All the instructions are given by the computer. Then you can simply learn by watching or following the instructions by the that program or training, by the computer program, right? So this provides enormous impact on the delivery of the training. This is an interactive method. Nowadays, for example, you can use AI to train, right? Simply you can chat with the AI chatbot and simply learn. AI give instructions, and so we can develop an AI algorithm for a particular training instruction for this basically for this type, for this technique, self-paced or computer-based training, we can develop an AI algorithm. An AI algorithm instructs everything. Then you can ask questions and you can maintain the interaction with the AI. Then your questions can be answered and feedback can be obtained through the AI, and simply AI can monitor your level of understanding everything from the type of questions that you are asking, and from the interaction that you are maintaining with the AI. Simply AI can give instructions depending on your level of understanding and knowledge. So those type of latest things are there. AI is one latest thing that can be used for self-paced or computer-based training. Right. So there are three approaches to CBT: computer-aided instructions, internet and internet-based training, and intelligent computer-assisted instructions. So this is AI. This is AI. Intelligent computer-assisted instruction is AI. Right. So here you can see these things. And just go through this computer-aided instruction. IBT, internet-based or intranet-based training. Internet-based training, simply you can Google it, or you can find, you can train on a particular topic. You can aware, you can seek knowledge on some area through Googling it, through AI, right? Simply you can learn this, what I'm talking about today, only through Google or only through YouTube, right? So nowadays YouTube is becoming, as I'm always telling, the popular way of learning the things. So all these comes under this category: internet and intranet based training. Intranet, basically, Sampath Bank having a very good intranet based training program. Their training manuals have been embedded into a particular software, intranet based, internal based network, and anyone in the any branch can access those information. And by doing their original day-to-day works, trainings can be undertaken relating to particular topic by accessing the intranet, right? So because all the training manuals, training instructions, and everything, learning content have been developed by the head office HRD division, and they have been embedded into the into a particular system, internal system, and the system can be accessed by any trainees. Then trainees can, in their leisure time, for example, once they had the lunch, and if we get the free time of 20 minutes, then within that 20 minutes, they can access a particular training module and read that module. And simply by once done, simply at the end of the session, they have a question. They have a question paper, or maybe MCQ question paper, online paper. Then that can be answered. And at the end of the year, the training module taking is tracked, and the HRD department is, while evaluating their performance, number of courses taken, and the grades obtained is normally monitored and checked, and performance appraisal results. Obviously, those training results are integrated into the performance appraisal results then. So all these things are done with the help of the intranet. So those type of things are there even in Sri Lanka now. So we can use them. Internet is another thing, as you know. Simply this particular course module only be learned through internet rather than participating into my lectures, right? So once we give the learning outcomes and the training learning content, the course information, simply you can develop your own materials, and by simply going through the YouTube, from YouTube you can learn everything rather than just participating my lectures, right? So internet, that's how you can learn from internet. And apart from that, nowadays we have AI. And right? So this is AI, right? I will tell you later on how you can use the AI in the next day, right? So the time is over. Do you have any question? Right, if you don't have any question, we can wind up.